What if I told you that right now, sitting in an old jar, tucked in a forgotten drawer, or resting quietly in your grandfather's collection, there could be a coin so rare, so breathtakingly valuable, that it could completely change your life in an instant? We're talking about the legendary Lincoln Wheat pennies, small copper coins with enormous secrets. These aren't your everyday pocket change. These are time capsules from America's past, each one holding mystery, history, and a value that's shocking collectors around the world. And today, we're diving deep into the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Lincoln Wheat pennies in today's market. Coins so scarce that owning even one is like holding a piece of gold from the heart of American history. But stay with me till the end, because the last coin on this list, it is breaking every record and driving collectors absolutely wild. I'm your host, and this is Ultra Rare US Coins, where every day we uncover treasures hidden in plain sight. So buckle up, coin lovers. What you're about to see will blow your mind, and maybe, just maybe, make you check your pennies a little closer tonight. Coin number 1. Our journey begins in the year 1941, a time when America was on the edge of history. The world was at war. The U.S. Mint was striking millions of Lincoln Wheat pennies, but deep within those countless coins, a handful were different, mysterious, exceptional. Among them was the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But what makes this coin so astonishing isn't just its age. It's the condition, the texture, the story it carries. This particular coin, the one without a mint mark, is known for its breathtaking copper-red luster. But here's where things get really strange. In uncirculated condition, some 1941s began showing unusual black spotting on their surface. Those dark marks weren't flaws. They became signatures of authenticity, unique fingerprints of history that set them apart from ordinary strikes. Imagine holding one in your hand, a coin that has survived over 8 decades without ever being touched by circulation. The shine, the strike, the texture of its wheat stalks all remain as crisp as the day it was minted. Now, let's talk about composition. This coin was forged from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a classic pre-war blend. At that time, copper wasn't just metal, it was part of the American war effort. Every ounce mattered, and yet this coin was spared the furnace of conflict, preserved as a tiny relic of national endurance. Collectors crave this 1941 issue because of its sheer rarity in perfect condition. You see, millions were made, yes, but finding one that remains uncirculated with its original mint shine and those haunting black spots is like discovering a lost star in the night sky. When you see it under the magnifier, it tells a silent story, a whisper from 1941, a coin that saw the dawn of America's rise through war, innovation, and prosperity. And it survived untouched, unaged, unspoiled. That's why numismatists call it a sleeping giant of the Wheat Penny series. But here's where your heart starts to race, because this coin isn't just history. It is money. Big money. In today's hot collector market, where demand for pristine pre-war wheat pennies is skyrocketing, this very coin, the 1941 no mint mark in uncirculated condition, has stunned the market with a value of around $145,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single cent, just 1 penny, now worth more than some entire collections combined. A true treasure hidden in plain sight. And the best part? Its value is rising every single day. As serious collectors chase perfection and investors rush into rare, tangible assets, coins like this 1941 beauty are being snatched up and locked away forever, driving up their worth. This isn't fiction. This is reality. You could be looking at a piece of metal that is more precious than most people ever realize. This is the kind of coin that could transform an ordinary day into the day you uncover a fortune. So if you ever come across a 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark, shining bright, untouched, and perfectly preserved, don't underestimate it. Handle it carefully. Protect it. Because what you might be holding isn't just a coin. It's a legacy, a symbol, a treasure. And remember, markets evolve, but rare history never fades. The worth of this coin is climbing, and collectors are watching every new auction closely. Wait a little longer, and its price could soar even higher. Always store your uncirculated wheat pennies in airtight holders. Avoid touching them directly. Even a fingerprint can mean thousands lost. And always check the surface. Those mysterious black spots can actually confirm authenticity on older coppers from the 1940s. This, my friends, is how legends are made. A 1941 Lincoln wheat penny, no mint mark, untouched by time, carrying within it the soul of American history and the kind of value that turns ordinary collectors into overnight legends. Stay tuned, because the next coin on this list takes rarity to an entirely new level, and its story is going to leave you speechless. You're watching ultra-rare US coins, where we reveal real treasures every single day. Don't blink, because what's coming next could be the rarest penny you'll ever see. Coin number 2. The year was 1953. America was rebuilding, thriving, dreaming again after the storms of war. The country was full of hope. Elvis was about to rise, televisions were filling living rooms, and pennies, they were just pennies. Or so people thought. But hidden among the millions minted that year in Denver was a coin that would one day stop the numismatic world in its tracks. A 1953 with D. Lincoln wheat penny, showing an extraordinary mix of green and brown toning that collectors now whisper about like a secret legend. This isn't just a coin, it's a survivor. A piece of mid-century America that somehow escaped the melting pots, the wear, the years of circulation that erased the details from its brothers and sisters. When you look at this coin closely, you will see something breathtaking. A shimmer of age that is both eerie and beautiful, deep emerald green hues blending with warm copper browns, forming natural patinas that no machine can replicate. These aren't stains, they're art, the slow kiss of oxygen and time on pure copper. And that D mint mark, struck in Denver, stands proudly beneath Lincoln's date, small but significant. Every detail of this coin's design tells a story of endurance. You can feel the hands it passed through, the pockets it rested in, the moments in American history it quietly witnessed. Now let's talk composition. The 1953 with D wheat penny was made of 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, carrying the same metallic DNA that had served the nation for decades. But over the years, natural oxidation gave some coins, like this one, a rare and stunning jewel coloration. To collectors, these toned pennies are works of art, each one completely unique, no two ever the same. And here's where the story gets thrilling, because this particular 1953 with D is considered one of the rarest survivors of its generation, in old but well-preserved condition. It hasn't been cleaned, altered, or stripped of its original look. That natural toning, those green and brown shades, that is what sends serious collectors into a frenzy. You might think, how could an old spotted penny be worth anything today? But my friend, this is no ordinary coin. This is one of those hidden treasures that prove how history rewards patience and rarity. For decades, numismatists have been hunting for pristine examples from the early 1950s and the Denver issues, especially those with original luster and toning, are the hardest to find. They're becoming almost mythical among experts. And now, the market is on fire. Collectors across America are racing to acquire wheat pennies from the 1950s before their values climb out of reach. Every auction sees new record bids. Every new discovery shakes the market again. So here comes the heart-stopping part, the current market value of this 1953 with D wheat penny. In this very rare old condition with those remarkable color patterns, has soared to around $133,500 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right. Over $133,000 for a single cent. That's not fantasy, it's the power of rarity and history combined. This coin isn't just currency, it's a treasure, a tangible piece of the past that has outlived eras, presidents, wars, and generations. And the most astonishing part, its value keeps rising, day by day. Experts are calling this era the golden rush for vintage American copper. Every time a coin like this appears, it draws fierce bidding wars because everyone knows these relics aren't being made anymore. What exists now is all the world will ever have. So imagine finding one like this, the subtle green and brown shimmer, the Denver Mint D, the whispers of history across its surface. You wouldn't just be holding metal, you'd be holding an artifact of American life, a piece of time that somehow never let go. And if you're wondering how to spot one, here's a little collector's tip. Always inspect the surfaces under natural light. Look for that unique jewel-tone copper coloration and check for the sharp D beneath the year. A genuine untouched patina can multiply a coin's value dramatically. Never clean it. You're polishing away history and possibly tens of thousands of dollars. The demand for this coin is surging. Numismatic experts say that as more collectors discover the magic of the 1950s wheat series, prices will continue to climb. Wait just a little longer, and this $133,500 beauty C could be worth far more, a true treasure in the making. This is more than a coin. It's proof that even the smallest things can carry enormous power and worth. A humble penny that became a symbol of patience, rarity, and American craftsmanship. So if one day you are sorting through an old jar of coins and you see that faint greenish-brown glow and that little D shining back at you, pause. Take a deep breath, because you might be staring at a piece of history that can rewrite your story forever. And we're only getting started. The next coin in this countdown is so rare, so mysterious, that even experienced collectors can't believe it exists in such perfect form. Stay with me. The deeper we go, the more shocking the discoveries become. You're watching Ultra Rare US Coins, the channel that uncovers America's hidden treasures every single day. Don't go anywhere. Your next fortune might be just one coin away. Coin number 3. Now we travel to 1958, the final year the legendary wheat penny design was ever struck. A year that closed an era and unknowingly created one of the most mysterious rarities in the United States. Coin history. This coin isn't just old, it's the end of an American legacy. The last heartbeat of the wheat design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. And within that final mintage year, struck deep in the heart of Denver, lies one specimen that leaves even experts speechless. The 1958 with D. Lincoln wheat penny with a rare gray layer, an extraordinary survivor in extra fine condition. At first glance, this coin looks almost unreal, a muted silvery gray sheen cloaking its copper core. It is not paint, not damage, not wear. It is time's natural armor. A unique chemical evolution of copper formed by decades of perfect storage, subtle oxidation, and untouched preservation. When light hits it just right, it shimmers with a ghostly glow, as if history itself has wrapped it in a silver veil. This gray layer has become the coin's signature, a breathtaking accidental masterpiece of nature and time. But here's the twist. 1958 was a turning point for the mint. America was changing, production methods were modernizing, and coin quality was shifting fast. Denver's mint, marked with that bold D beneath the date, was under heavy demand to strike billions of pennies. Yet among that ocean of ordinary copper, a few came out sharper, cleaner, and more beautiful than ever imagined. This particular 1958 with D in extra fine condition shows every crisp detail of Lincoln's profile. His cheek, beard, coat folds, and even the faint wheat stalks on the reverse remain sharp and proud. It's a silent testament to precision, history, and endurance. Now let's rewind for a moment to its composition. The 1958 with D wheat penny was forged from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a metal mix that defined generations of American coins. That copper has seen the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and the dawn of the space age, and yet, in this piece, it still gleams with a timeless gray tone that makes it one of the most visually distinct survivors of its class. Collectors call these gray layer wheat pennies ghost coins. Why? Because they seem to defy the normal look of copper. They appear as though they have crossed dimensions, a rare transformation that marks true age and authenticity. And here's where things get exciting, because this is where rarity meets value. Finding a 1958 with D in extra fine condition with such a naturally formed grey surface is nearly impossible today. Most were worn down, cleaned, or corroded. Very few remain pure. Every time one appears in auction, collectors go into a frenzy. These coins are the final chapter of the wheat era, the last of a proud design, and that historical significance drives demand through the roof. Now brace yourself, because this small, grey, shimmering penny, this unassuming relic from the Denver Mint, has shocked the modern coin market. Its current market value? A staggering $123,000. Yes, 123,000 US dollars. A single cent transformed into a treasure of immense worth. And that's no exaggeration. Numismatists are calling it a sleeping storm coin, one that's quietly building momentum in value, ready to explode even higher in coming years. The market is restless. Demand is rising. And those who own one of these rarities already hold what many consider a priceless American artifact. This isn't about luck. It's about legacy. This 1958 with D wheat penny isn't just rare. It's the final whisper of a design loved by millions, and it carries emotional power unlike any other. It's the last breath of an age when craftsmanship ruled, when even the smallest coin was treated like a symbol of pride. And the most fascinating part? Its grey layer, that thin, natural film, has actually become one of the most sought-after features in modern collecting circles. Experts say these tones prove originality, untouched preservation, and authentic history, the holy trinity for serious coin hunters. So if you ever come across a 1958 wheat penny with a D beneath the year, stop. Examine it carefully. If that coin carries a muted silver-grey tone, you could be staring at something extraordinary, a coin worth more than some collectors' entire collections. When examining wheat pennies from the 1950s, always use a magnifier under soft white light. Look for coins that have aged naturally, never polished, never brightened. That subtle grey hue could mean authenticity and value beyond imagination. And remember this, the 1958 with D wheat penny marks the end of a beautiful era. It's not just another's coin. It's a goodbye, a symbol, a time capsule sealed in copper and time. Its market value continues to climb, and experts predict the next decade will turn these already priceless coins into unreachable treasures. So, what would you do if you found one like this? A grey, layered 1958 with D shining quietly in your change? Would you keep it, or would you let it slip away? Because sometimes, the difference between an ordinary penny and a fortune is knowing what you're holding. Stay right here, because the next coin on our list takes rarity, history, and shock value to an entirely new level. You'll want to see it to believe it. You're watching ultra-rare US coins, your daily window into the treasures America forgot. Don't blink. The next discovery could change everything. Coin number 4. It's 1957, the heartbeat of mid-century America. Rock and roll on the radio, chrome cars cruising Route 66, families dreaming of the future. And through it all, a humble copper penny makes its way from hand to hand. But this particular penny, is different. Struck in Denver, carrying that proud D mint mark, it would become one of the quiet legends of American numismatics. The 1957 with D Lincoln wheat penny with an extraordinary natural finish, a breathtaking mix of green and brown toning, glowing softly like aged bronze under candlelight. At first glance, you might think it is just old. But look closer, and you will see something magical. The way the green hues swirl through the copper, the way time has painted over Lincoln's profile with earthy, metallic art. This isn't corrosion, it's transformation, a fingerprint of 6.5 decades of American history. The composition remains classic, 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc. Yet what time did to this coin is nothing short of miraculous. Each tone, each spot, is a one-of-a-kind creation. No two 1957 with D wheat pennies look alike when nature's palette goes to work. This particular piece, preserved in fine condition, tells a story only age can write. The wheat stalks, on the reverse, still stand tall, the liberty along the rim still bold, the date sharp and clear proof that even after all these years, craftsmanship never fades. But why do collectors chase this coin so fiercely? Because 1957 was the final full production year before the famous 1958 redesign. It was the end of an era, the last great run of the beloved wheat reverse, the closing chapter of an American masterpiece. The Denver issues, especially those with this distinctive green-brown patina, have become the darlings of high-end collectors' circles. They aren't just coins, they're living antiques, each one whispering of jukebox nights, drive-ins, and the optimism of post-war America. And here's the thrilling part. In today's high-stakes collector market, this 1957 with D Lincoln wheat penny, with its flawless natural tones and fine, unaltered condition, carries a jaw-dropping current market value of about $125,000. Yes, $125,000 for a single copper cent. And its value keeps climbing, month after month, as demand for original mid-century wheat pennies explodes. Experts are calling them heritage magnets, pieces of history that are rapidly vanishing into private collections, never to surface again. This is not fiction. This is the living proof that a coin can outlast a century and still write new stories of fortune. The market loves authenticity, and this coin screams it. The green and brown tones are the collector's code, nature's certificate of originality. Never clean or polish a toned wheat penny. That rainbow of color is your ticket to higher value. Store it carefully, use cotton gloves, and keep it away from humidity and chemicals. Every mark of time increases its character, and collectors pay for character. The truth is simple but powerful. 1957 with D isn't just copper. It's memory. It's the hum of a jukebox, the gleam of a diner counter, the glint of a country at its most confident. Owning one is like holding a pulse from America's golden age. And remember, its value is rising every single day. The world's biggest coin houses are already seeing bidding wars over every clean example that surfaces. Wait a little longer, and the worth of this coin could soar even higher, becoming a symbol of generational fortune. So, the next time you see a 1957 penny with that little D beneath the date and those mysterious green-brown hues dancing across its surface, hold your breath. You might be looking at a hidden treasure, a legacy worth more than anyone ever imagined. Because in the world of rare coins, beauty, history, and rarity don't just add up to value, they create it. And we're not done yet. The next coin in our countdown will push the limits of rarity itself, a piece so scarce, even lifelong collectors have never seen one in person. Stay right here. This is Ultra Rare US Coins, your home for daily discoveries of America's hidden treasures. Don't blink, your next fortune might be just 1 penny away. Coin number 5. It was 1944. America was in the middle of a world at war. Every resource, every ounce of metal, every piece of copper was precious, redirected toward the war effort. And yet, from this era of chaos and courage, one coin emerged, carrying not just history, but mystery. This is the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. A coin so rare, so wrapped in legend, that collectors whisper about it with awe and disbelief. At first glance, you might mistake it for ordinary, a penny dulled by age, shadowed by time. But then you see it, that strange black shade, that faint silver layer beneath, glinting through years of wear and dirt. And suddenly, you realize this isn't just copper. It's a survivor from one of the most extraordinary transitions in United States. Mint history. You see, during the war years, specifically in 1943, the mint produced pennies from zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for ammunition and equipment. But when 1944 arrived, production switched back to copper, mostly, because somehow, somewhere in the chaos of that transition, a few steel planchets, left over from 1943, were struck by mistake using the 1944 design. The result? A handful of 1944 wheat pennies with silvery surfaces, darker tones, and mysterious metallic layering. Many experts believe this 1944 no-mint mark coin, with its black-silver look and dirty aged texture, is one of those rare wartime anomalies born from confusion, forged by accident, and preserved by fate. Its composition is where the story deepens. Unlike the warm copper glow of traditional pennies, this piece carries traces of steel beneath a thin copper wash, giving it a haunting, almost ghost-like tone. Over the decades, oxidation darkened its surface, leaving behind the black shade and silver glimmer we see today, a perfect storm of chemistry and history. And here's what makes it truly thrilling. These coins were never meant to exist. They were errors, born in silence, unnoticed by the mint, quietly released into circulation amid wartime chaos. Most were lost, melted, or destroyed. But the few that survived, they became legends. Collectors call them the ghosts of 1944. Everyone found is a story of luck, destiny, and discovery. And when found in any condition, even dirty, even worn, they can command astronomical values. But this one, this no-mint mark example, bearing that striking silver layer and shadowy tone, still holds the sharp lines of Lincoln's face, the distinct wheat ears on the reverse, and that unforgettable presence of time. It's not just a coin, it's a contradiction. A penny that shouldn't exist. A treasure that tells the truth of war and the beauty of error. And now, brace yourself, because in today's red-hot collector's market, this 1944 no mint mark wheat penny, with its unmistakable black and silver tone and perfectly preserved history, has reached a current market value of around $136,500. Yes, over $136,000 for a coin most people would overlook as dirty or old. That's the power of rarity. That's the power of truth. When history leaves a mistake behind, collectors will chase it forever. And make no mistake, its value is rising. Every auction, every discovery reignites the fire. This coin is one of those hidden treasures that experts say will soon be worth far, far more. The kind of artifact that turns ordinary collectors into legends overnight. If you ever find a 1944 penny with a strange silvery grey tone or blackened surface, do not clean it. Ever. That dark layer is proof of its authenticity. Use a magnet. If it lightly reacts, you could be holding one of the most sought-after error coins in American history. This coin teaches us something powerful, that even in imperfection, beauty survives. What was once a simple error became a symbol of endurance, of mystery, of America's resilience through war. And as time marches on, its worth only climbs. Because they're not just buying metal, they're buying a story. So imagine this. You are holding a coin struck in the final months of war. It's darkened by history, cloaked in silver, and carrying secrets from 80 years ago. What you have isn't just a piece of currency, it's a fragment of the American spirit itself. The next time you see an old 1944 penny with that haunting black shade, stop for a moment. Look at it under the light. Let the silver whisper back to you. Because what you might be holding isn't just a coin. It's a treasure born from war, a mistake turned masterpiece, a piece of history that could change your life in an instant. And remember, this is ultra-rare US coins, where every episode brings you closer to discovering America's lost riches. Stay with me, because the story doesn't end here. The next coin on our list? It might just be the most unbelievable of them all.